Actually forgot that I submitted a talk with this title, so I have to disappoint you. There's no word about fees here. If you like fees, you can check out the talk from Fran from Superfluid in the afternoon. I think he has quite a similar one. But yeah, also nice to have this very cozy small room, so I can share some unannounced news without Johannes killing me afterwards. So there will be some alpha for me to share. Maybe to quickly get a sense of the people here who know Safe in here. Most people who uses Safe actively. Cool. Okay. So majority. So I'm just gonna run through the intro slides. Safe is a programmable account, smart account that allows you to do cool things like implement roles, hierarchies, spending limits, recovery solutions, quantum secure signature schemes, like all the magic. And what Safe is doing is we build Safe Core, which is an infrastructure to build smart contract wallets based on the Safe Smart account. So that allows you to do all the things that you have to do as a wallet, as a dApp that wants to integrate smart accounts, so authentication, on-ramping, relaying, and like all that fancy stuff. And we have a bunch of different solutions that build on Safe today. One here is CoinShift, they built our treasury management solution. We have these upcoming non-custodial neobanks like Gnosis Pay or Based App that are built on Safe. And we have some identity stuff. Yeah, some controversial things about WorldCoin, but I mean, I'm glad at least that they were deciding to build on Safe. So when you get orbed, you're not having a private key associated with your identity, but actually something that can be more secure and more composable. Cool, and yeah, that's the ecosystem that we're building at Safe. We really want to make Safe Smart Accounts a portable account that they can use with different solutions, and you're not locked into one specific wallet or interface with a bunch of usage today. And now a little bit about Safe Wallet. You've heard before Johannes speak on the panel from the Safe Wallet team. This, for us, is in a way like a Pixel phone is to Android, so a way for us to really show the power of Safe Smart Accounts, to onboard users, to showcase new capabilities, and to send also certain impulses into the ecosystem that hopefully have then some ripple effects and have others think about what's possible or what they can adopt themselves. So one thing we actually announced this week is an easy way to onboard to Safe Wallet. So that's it with a Google account. And yeah, so if you don't have a wallet yet, now you can just log in with your Google account, and right away, within 30 seconds, you have a Safe Smart account created under the hood. And yeah, a few thoughts on that. Like, we're well aware that like this is not kind of the most secure way to have a self-custodial wallet. There's like we use Web3 auth under the hood, and there's some dependencies there as well. But it's important that we think that what we've built is actually much better than all the other social login onboarding solutions that are out there so far. And before everyone is onboarding with those, where they then just have a private key that's associated with their Google account, that we rather should get them onboarded this way. One thing that's definitely better is that when you get onboarded this way, you can always rotate the key. That's not possible if you have like an EOA associated with your Google account via an MPC solution, and then you have like all your non-transferable tokens, your soulbound NFTs, your reputation, etc., associated with that key, and then you're stuck with that, and you don't have a way out. So you can rotate that key if you don't like this Google login with Google solution or Web3 auth, and you can use whatever you want. You can also add additional keys, so you can just have the Google login as one of your multiple signers in your wallet, and then you add in a hardware wallet or a MetaMask, and then it's just your easy access key, which you are aware might not be the most secure key, but it's one that you can very easily access from everywhere. And then, nope. Do I have to point it somewhere, or? Okay. So I can just. Over there. I guess.
I think everyone's excited about the continue with Google. That's why they want to keep the slide.
It's blinking at least, so I'm not sure why nothing is happening. So, yeah.
Can we add it to existing safe wallet?
Johannes, as far as I know, yes. You can add it to existing wallets. You can also add the Google login signer.
And can you define rules if you transact less than $100, Google is enough, and if you transact over 100, you should confirm with your hardware wallet?
So we do have a spending limits feature in Safe Wallet. So I would assume, yeah, that you can just assign a spending limit to your Google signer, and then you can go do that. It's actually, I haven't thought about that use case, but that seems interesting. Just curious, who's actually excited about Google login in here? I'm not sure if this is the crowd where everyone has already their like hardware wallets and everything. So.
It's convenient for mobile phones because not every mobile phone is compatible with hardware wallets, and if you want to secure your safe better, you should use hardware wallet. But if you want to sign something small on a move, it will be enough.
Julian, you had a question.
Why did you decide against passkeys?
I mean, as far as I know, there's still like this EIP that would add the relevant curve for passkeys. Is it already implemented or is it finalized? I don't know. It's definitely something that we're looking at, but this was just a very easy way to get started with easy onboarding. As far as I know, there's no production-ready passkey implementation yet out there. All right. And then the final thing that's actually important is that we have all these apps that suddenly start doing these like social login features, but then you log in into these apps and you go to a different app and suddenly you log in with the same Google account, but you get assigned a different wallet and you start having a different wallet for every app you go to, and you have to manage 100 different wallets and you don't even know which ones you have at some point. And because Safe Wallet has this app store integrated and that has over 100 apps already supported there, actually every app that's in there, now you can access it with Google login right away, and the app itself doesn't even have to do any changes on their side. Yeah, that's and the fourth thing that's actually also very cool is that with this feature is currently only possible on Gnosis chain. Eventually will be rolled out to other chains as well. But on Gnosis chain, Safe Wallet actually sponsors all transactions. So that's just an added plus for easy onboarding. So you can onboard with Google, you on-ramp from a credit card using on-ramp provider, and then all transaction fees are sponsored. So it's like as easy as it might get in terms of getting Web 2 friendly onboarding. And then the alpha that I have, this is Vitalik in Singapore, who proposed this kind of holistic recovery idea. He prefers of essentially having different options to recover account using account abstraction. And like he has been preaching a lot about social recovery, and probably also realizing that social recovery is not a silver bullet, and we need to have flexibility in terms of recovery. So he kind of preaches there that there should be different options for different user needs. An ideal case, you can even say my social recovery plus my institutional recovery plus my own backup keys. There's somehow a threshold where I just need to have 2 out of these 3, and then I can recover my account. So not even this institutional recovery provider can run away with my funds. Well, there's always some checks and balances. And here, like, we're gonna announce this a little bit later in the year, but we are working on, in a sense, like a recovery marketplace solution where we're working with different partners. One is actually a licensed Swiss bank, another one is a UK regulated institutional provider that provide these like recovery solutions. And then you can also add social recovery and also some custom setups where you might have your own backup keys. And that you can really flexibly say according who do you trust? Do you trust your family, friends? Do you trust this Swiss bank? Do you trust only yourself? Or potentially at some point like a combination of those, and you can really say how your personal recovery setup should look like. This is just example. In the ideal case, you have this like 2 out of 3, or at least I personally would prefer that, where I could do things by myself or with friends, with social recovery plus my own devices, or even if I don't exist, my friends together with an institutional provider like a bank could, for example, inheritance case, recover the account. And then you can also have like one single recovery scheme for all your safes. You could just add one of these, like a recovery safe as a module to all your different other accounts that you have to achieve that. Yeah, and then just very quickly, like kind of long term, like account abstraction is a big buzzword recently, but we do see it as like a very important way to get there. That like every account in Web3 will be a smart account, but this is only going to be like the beginning, because this will enable to actually solve many big problems that have been in our space, including also hopefully like privacy. That's like just getting new solutions with smart accounts. One of them is like network abstraction. So for example, smart accounts actually could enable that you have assets on different chains, but you want to interact with this app that's like on an app-specific rollup, and you just bundle all this by pulling these assets from these different chains and send them to the destination chain and interact with this app in one single action. And this is then what's happening on the chains, but for the user this could be seamlessly abstracted away, and it doesn't even matter anymore what chains are involved or where my assets are on different chains. Also payment abstraction, obviously Gnosis Pay doing quite some efforts there. It's quite interesting that we say we're going to replace the financial system, but things that are just very obvious in today's financial system are still not solved yet in crypto, such as I go here in Turkey to a shop with my card that was issued in Switzerland, that is like Swiss francs based account, and the merchant, they just want to receive lira, and they don't care what jurisdiction my card is from, what currency is it backed in, but they just say I want this amount of lira, and somehow my Swiss franc make it over here into a different jurisdiction with a different currency. And yeah, kind of the analogy in blockchain world is that we have different chains and we might have different assets, and somehow we still don't have seamless solutions where my asset A on chain X gets translated in asset B on chain Y, and have these also in a way that's instant, because also when I go into a shop, actually I pay, and the actual settlement might take multiple days, but the merchant already has an immediate confirmation that they will receive these funds, and like there's somehow some like zero latency there, whereas today we still have this quite obvious in blockchain and could be abstracted with smart accounts. And then security abstraction, we rely very much on every protocol having their security under control. With smart accounts, we could even have we could essentially build some intermediate solutions that allow you to build some additional safeguards into how you interact with protocols, such as that you might trust like a third-party system that watches which protocols you have different permissions assigned to, and actually they could, in a worst-case scenario, like freeze your permissions or kind of do some automations to ensure that your funds are safe. You're not reliant on Aave pausing their protocol to make sure your funds are not stuck there. So that's just, yeah, Rhinestone is doing some good work there in terms of smart account module registries. We've been proposing a standard that goes into that direction with on-chain audit representations that could enable more solutions there. But yeah, this is just a little bit of a very high-level heads up of what I think is coming around smart accounts and in the Safe ecosystem, or at least what's important to build. If you're curious for more, Safe Global, and yeah, gonna stick around. Not sure if I have question time.
I think we have time for some questions. If anyone has any questions.
Thank you.
Thank you. Actually, this week happened something interesting to me, which is I lost my phone, and then like I needed to recover like all my bank accounts and everything. And I'm talking about traditional one. And then like it was interesting to see like how like different like banks are providing this like to recover, right? So I'm Brazilian. My bank in Brazil like only wanted me to do like a face recognition. So basically saw my my face, got the access. HSBC, I live in the UK, was actually by voice. So basically I called them, they did the voice recognition and so on. So it was interesting to see how like banks in general and traditional institutions are doing like these mechanisms for like recovery. How do you think that like we can also leverage something like that, like and how this will evolve?
I know. Broad question. I do think there will be different ways how different, especially institutional guardians or recovery agents, will solve the way how they like trigger a recovery. I think this is not necessarily going away, but there might be newer solutions like a proof of humanity-based solution where like it's a more decentralized approach to verifying your identity, or probably Julian also has some more ideas there how we like the new type of identity verification systems could work, but at least the kind of traditional ones won't go that like fast away because this way they can leverage their existing KYC solutions that just say you go through this process once and then you're our client, we can recover your access, and you go through it twice and then we can recover your account. For the people that trust these institutions, that's probably a good solution, and then the people that want more like trustless or decentralized solutions, then we probably have to wait until they actually are being built out. Not sure that was a good answer, but
I was wondering, I think what you showed is a future where you see Safe being deployed to your home chain and then you interacting with other chains. Or would it be rather a future of like Safe being deployed on all different types of networks? And I'm curious to see like how you see it and how it would work in terms of interoperability.
I mean, there's a few different ways to implement that. Either you deploy Safe on every chain and you try to keep the state in sync, like state proofs or whatever that, or you have some like main Safe where you access control and you like all your modules and recovery and everything is, the logic is there, and then you just have like minions or have sub accounts that are on each chain, and then you have some like trustless message passing via bridges or CCIP or something that then allows you to trigger those. It's probably a few more approaches. I don't think we necessarily know where it's going to, like the cross-chain world and the infrastructure and everything is still very much in flux and needs to mature a little bit, and then in the next 1-2 years probably we have a little bit better picture where it's going, because it's also dangerous if you go one direction and then the ecosystem's developing a completely different one, then that also doesn't help.
Any more questions? All right. Well, thank you very much, Lukas.